Which one of us is trying to get your data?
Guess what? All of us can get your data.
The internet creepily knows a lot about you. I'm going to take this off.
And I need to put
So
my
that's
readers
what
on.
today's topic is. What does the internet know about you? And what can you do about it?
So my first point is, if the show is about what the internet doesn't know about you, we'd be over in about 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But what does the internet know about you? We could go on for hours. But we won't.
They collect a lot of data on us.
Yeah.
As we browse the internet and click things.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a surprise.
I think an easy example for any users out there who are curious is to just type your name in a search engine tab and see what happens.
Yep. See what Google knows.
Actually, go ahead and click the first 3 things that pop up, because there are companies that are going to want you to spend money with them to get more information about yourself.
Yep.
So if you're interested in finding out who knows what kind of records you have criminally, or your credit scores, things like that, yeah, just go ahead and click those first couple of them and pay them the $9.95 or whatever it is for the month subscription, and they will provide you everything you know about yourself already.
You've been to Spokio, right?
No,
Spokio?
No, but
that's one of them.
Yeah.
And if you go there, it'll show you. I mean, they know where you live.
And if you don't know your great grandma's maiden name, check the internet.
Oh yeah, family tree.
Family tree now.
Family tree. Then they know a ton. They know even about your family history, right?
Yeah.
Because we're inputting all the data and putting in our DNA and
birth and death records, your addresses, your old phone numbers,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
What's scary is I know someone who had a relative who had given up a baby for adoption in the, I would guess, early 60s.
Oh, I have a similar story.
And they took the DNA test. And that person must have also been in the data bank or database. And it said and that's how they found their
biological.
There was no contact. It was given up for adoption.
Yeah.
Like right at birth. And
Yep.
they were able to get in contact through
Isn't that crazy?
But yeah.
I know. I have other stories similar to that, where that's how they found their birth.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting stuff. So, your digital, if you go back to our video, your digital footprint, that's really what this is about, right? And Aaron brought up one before we came live, cookies. A lot of sites you can't go to unless you have your cookies enabled. And they tell you, please enable your cookies because we want to know what you like. That's what, marketers love this information.
Even more so, it's the marketers who really rely on the information, but it's also the service providers that are really, really watching and managing and monitoring everything that's being done online. And it's not so much of what you're actually clicking on, it's how long you're spending on sites, where you hover your icon over. The amount of data and analytics behind just about any kind of search engine or web page nowadays is incredible. So
it is incredible.
Don't fool yourself into thinking you're
not smarter than the internet.
Yeah. What's it called when you tell your browser to go into
private?
Yeah, what's that? Incognito mode.
Incognito mode.
Never such a thing. Never such a thing. So
all that does is just disable the extensions and stuff, right?
And it doesn't save your history.
Right.
The tracking mechanisms involved are just ridiculous. The bots, well,
that's what the internet's all about, right? I mean, as a marketer, I love that data because I'm like, dude, you like those shoes? I'm going to show you an ad. They're on sale.
Yep.
Get them now before the sale ends, right? So.
Traveling to Phoenix?
Yeah.
Here are 10 beautiful destinations you want to check out.
Absolutely.
And 10 airlines that can fly you there.
And 10
rent-a-cars and hotels.
Right? Yep. I mean, in a way, it's kind of cool because it's easy to find what you need and what you want.
That's true.
Because it's right there. But it's also scary. Right.
On that same note, so I don't know what the future is going to hold, but I suspect I do. That the marketing, the advertising is going to get so niche, so specific that individually we can look at the same billboard, but
And it'll
we'll
be
all
different.
see a different image on it because it's going to have the ability to understand who's looking at it and then present to them what it is that they want to see.
That's creepy.
Television.
Right?
Television the same way. You turn on your TV, Dave, Ginny turns on their TV, we watch the same program. I get different ads than they do.
Oh, and they probably would know that because of your location and IP address and stuff like that. And your digital footprint, right?
But take it a step further.
That's interesting.
Our TVs nowadays can tell us what we're running low on. You need to order more milk today, Dave. Your eggs are almost out, Dave. Hey?
It's just like those futuristic novels.
And they can make the list for you. And if you say, Alexa, buy my list, Alexa will contact the store and purchase your list for you.
Yep.
We're almost there already. Honestly.
Well, your fridge will do it. Your fridge will keep track of what you have.
They have that smart home at Epcot. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's cool. It's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. So in some ways you can protect your digital life. You want to protect your digital information, your digital self, right? From the hackers that we talk about all the time, right? And, some of this is going to sound familiar to you. But before we share that, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Don't leave right now, but subscribe to our newsletter so that you get more information like this to help keep you protected and be on top of that information.
On our website.
Absolutely. So the first one on my list.
So how do we protect it? That's what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
So
the first one on my list, now I never thought about it, but I have a Google phone. So Google even knows what I text.
Well, your location. I mean, all of them want to know your location.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Have you ever looked at your map history?
No.
From your phone?
I don't know.
It tells you can see. I mean, as long as it's turned on.
Yeah, turn your
location
off. Yeah.
But I remember reading a novel in this. Now it was a murder mystery novel, but that's how they found out where the body was. Yeah. Because he had his tracking information on, so she logged into his Google account because she knew his login information and turned on the maps and found where he had been.
Kind of like the old movies where they would triangulate the telephone signal.
Right. She didn't even have to do that. She just
now it's
all on the Google Maps.
Just pinpoint them on the phone.
It used to be they would take this little weird thing and stick it under your car and a magnet. And Dick Tracy would follow you around.
Well, no, now it's
now you tell everybody where you are.
They know what you're gonna eat that day. You know what?
So he ran through a fast food restaurant.
So anyway, what brought that up is there's a texting app called Signal that I use.
Yeah.
I don't like WhatsApp because WhatsApp puts you out there and there's all these weirdos that get in touch with you. I tried it. But anyway, Signal is another texting app and it's secure and it doesn't, share your information. So that's one thing you can do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Geez, how about be wary of clicking on unfamiliar links or documents and apply software updates. Now, being the bench tech that I was when I started in this business, updates are one of your main things you need to do. Now, be wary, absolutely, because not only can they be for updates. Do you have that app on or are they trying to get you to get the paid for version of the app? So you still have to be unfamiliar links and documents, but software updates, you really need to keep your software updated. I'm sorry, whoever wrote this article, but
yes,
I agree with the be wary. But
yeah, and I think majorly it's be wary of clicking on unfamiliar links,
phishing,
right?
Yeah,
for phishing attempts in your email and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Protecting your data by making sure you have a good backup.
Your backups, yep.
And then you can encrypt your hard drive on your laptop, certainly with BitLocker.
Yeah.
And online backup, they're saying too. So some of the things that we've talked about, over and over again over episodes, we always stress having multiple forms of backup.
Yep.
Whether that's local or cloud-based or you run a backup weekly and you take it home, you know.
We're
just in
going to
case.
do another episode on just backups because that's something
Okay.
important.
Yeah.
We have done episodes on this many times, passwords. So
Mhm.
click our YouTube history and look for the password stuff,
Yeah.
right?
And that's common sense too,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Strong, lengthy
Mhm.
combination.
And
Don't reuse it.
don't reuse it, and two-factor.
Two-factor.
Multi-factor, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. That's it. Oh, and Aaron already mentioned this one,
Yeah.
that incognito mode
Incognito
does
mode.
not mean that you're private.
Well, and this is a
So.
good point here too.
I like this one too. We should.
So number 7 on the list is invest in a virtual private network or VPN. You know, and these are some best practices for data management as well. Typically, when your network, your business network starts to grow and get advanced, you're going to want to start to segregate that traffic so you don't have things crossing each other. And just a silly example would be if you have video cameras, surveillance cameras on your network, and you have some intense data processes. Maybe you're doing your backups, and those cameras are capturing video too. Well, they can compete with each other. So what you do is you segment those off so they're not overlapping, or the resources are being managed and shared a little bit better. But what that does too, to our topic here, is by doing that, you keep those channels, those traffic channels separate. So your maybe your backup channel or your emails, things like that, they're on a separate segmented part of your network. So the hacker or any bad agent doesn't have full-blown access to everything immediately. It just kind of keeps things a little bit more contained.
Yep. And then
DuckDuckGo.
Yep, I use that actually. I like it. The kids get annoyed because they don't like it, but I'm like, you don't get any advertisements on there. So
It's a
guess
search
what?
engine.
Yeah, it's a search engine that doesn't allow any advertisers to use the cookies that and it doesn't collect that kind of information like Google does. So that's it.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Don't let those creepy hackers get you.
Okay, I got to get back to work.
All right.
Yeah.
Make it a great